questions. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Obviously, solid win. It's good to see Shane Muntz. I thought Shane swung the bat really well today, which, he's an important piece to what we're trying to do here. So it was good to see him swing the bat. Good to see Michael Ludwig continue to swing the bat well. I think, again, those are two big pieces to our club. We'll get Brendan Tinsman back on Sunday. And then, Pierce Bennett, hopefully we'll have him back on Friday. He got hitting the calf with a pitch over the weekend. So, again, I think once we get Bennett and Tinsman back in there, we'll be pretty much close to full strength. So hopefully we can start to fire on all cylinders here, headed into April. On the mound, I thought Reed Muscola, first 3 innings was pretty good. The 4th inning, maybe just ran out of gas. I thought Cole McNamee threw the ball really well. It was good to see Crawford Wade come in and get a 0, Teddy McGraw come in and get a 0. I think those are 2 guys that can be important pieces for us down the stretch. So it's good to see them go in there and have some success. And the best thing about tonight really was that we were able to rest our 4 kind of main bullpen pieces that have been getting a lot of work. Oxford, Furtado, Adler, and Manassi didn't have to pitch tonight, which was huge headed into the weekend. Those guys have been getting a ton of work. So good all-around team win. I think Ryan put a couple stats in front of me, that we've hit 12 home runs in the last 5 games, which is good. It's good to see, us start to get extra base hits. The back-to-back is kind of set up the game, for us to win and be able to pitch some guys that hadn't thrown a whole lot and get the guys rest that needed rest. So it's a good team win.
On what flip did anything flip in the approach from the first 2 innings when you guys had I think it was 7 walks and 2 hits to score 4 runs to then I think the last 11 runs all came on homers? Did the approach at the plate change, or did they just start having more hittable pitches?
Yeah, I mean, their starter's got first of all, their starter is going to be really good. I mean, I think that kid's got a great arm and he's really close to being, a weekend starter for them, whether it happens this year or next year. But, he's got a chance to be special. So, yeah, I mean, he wasn't throwing a ton of strikes today. So, we took what he gave us. And then, in those middle innings, we got more pitches to hit. I mean, again, home runs are usually mistakes either by the pitcher or somebody mishits it by a little bit and it gets out. Probably the best swing of the day was Brock Wilkins' single to center field was probably the best swing of the day. I was glad to see him do that in that situation instead of trying to overswing. So, really happy with Brock's day as well.
Especially because before I think it was for his first home run, he overswung and looked like he might have been about to spin around. Did you catch that?
Yeah, the fastball he swung through he definitely overswung on that. And same thing, Adam Cecere, his first couple at bats, I thought he was overswinging. And so it was good to see him stay in the middle of the field in his 4th at bat. And, he's another guy that's an important piece for us. So we kind of need to get him going. And Michael Turconi sitting out, I think kind of, hurt him. And he's kind of just now getting back to where he's swinging it good again in BP. So I think, headed into this weekend, we'll see a better version of Michael Turconi. And, I think the layoff hurt him and he's been, not the typical Michael Turconi these past few games, but we'll see him again here soon.
Hey, Tom, is Rake Forrest back?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we can do it against Louisville pitching, then I'll say yes. So ask me that question on Monday or Sunday.
Let us talk to you on Sunday and we will. What has the last couple of games been like? Does it feel like seriously that this team is kind of putting all the pieces together now, Tom?
Yeah, I think so. Again, part of it is just getting healthier. The other part of it is, guys starting to relax a little bit. I know those guys were pressing, because their draft, they missed some of those older guys missed their draft year last year, and then they're putting pressure on themselves to get out of the gates fast. And we got out of the gates slow, and then we shut down for 10 days, and so it's been kind of a rocky road. So I think. Now after these last 3 games, especially the hitters have started to kind of relax and breathe and say, okay, I'm going to be okay. I could still hit. So it's been good. It's been really good to see. And again, it's come from different spots, which is encouraging. You know, it was Bobby Seymour on Sunday and Brock Wilkin on Saturday. And then today it was a little bit of everybody. Michael Ludwig in there a couple of days. So again, it hasn't been just one or two guys. It's been kind of all over the lineup, which is a good sign.
If Michael Ludwig is going to drive the ball to the left center gap, 3 times in a game or twice and hit one out to left, I mean, what does that mean for your lineup?
Well, it's huge. I mean, again, I love having him in the 6 hole there to break up our righties and lefties, especially against the good ACC teams that, have such dynamic bullpens. I don't like stacking our lefties together at the bottom there because that just leads to easy matchups later in the game. So if Michael can stay in that 6 hole and Shane hitting the 7 hole, it gives our lineup a ton of length and makes it really hard to situationally pitch us. So I'm hoping that Michael stays right where he is. And he bunted for a hit at Florida State, and he tried to bunt again today. So I like seeing him use the short game some. So again, if we can get this version of Michael Ludwig, it really gives length to our lineup.
Tom, you just mentioned talking about Michael Ludwig, and I've been, asking you about Michael's development as a player, especially what he did tonight defensively and offensively. What impressed you the most of what he did tonight?
Well, I just thought he had good. I mean, again, like Connor said, just accessing that left center field gap. He homered to left. He doubled the left center twice, again, and that's what Michael does best. And that's what we've seen when he's going good. He's kind of in that part of the field. And he's laying off pitches in the dirt. I know he struck out on 1 pitch in the dirt, but there were some other pitches where, previously this year he would have flipped some counts and swung at some pitches out of the zone and gotten soft late, but he was able to take those pitches today and get fastballs and fastball counts. And, again, these guys are good hitters. If they're getting fastballs and fastball counts, they're going to have success.
Have you told Shane to just kind of hold on for a couple more games and you'll get him some help behind the plate?
Yeah, for sure. I told him he's got some DH duty coming up. So he's been getting beat up. I felt bad for him, especially in the kind of the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings there when it was kind of, we scattered it around a little bit. Then he was, it's always hard when you're a catcher in those, 15-5 games when you're taking balls and you're running back to the backstop. So yes, I did tell him that help is on the way for sure.
Speaking of Shane's, a couple weeks ago, you mentioned Shane Smith would be back for this Louisville series. Is that still on track?
No, unfortunately, not. He's it's going to be probably at least another 3 or 4 weeks, I would imagine. I mean, I'm hoping to have, a good like a healthy and full version of Shane Smith by May. Could be sooner than that, but as far as being, the guy we think he is, might not be till May.
Is that a setback or just playing it safe?
No, it's not a setback. It's just one of those things where I think it was just a little more serious than we thought. He started to ramp up back to throw, and it just didn't feel great. It's nothing. The doc had said it's structurally sound. It's nothing where, we're worried that he's going to need surgery or anything like that. It's just one of those things where, it's just going to take a little longer than we had hoped. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, Connor, how you doing?
Good. It looks like the results speak for itself, but how much better are you seeing the ball these last few games than you were early in the season?
Yeah, no, I got off to a really, really slow start at the beginning of the season. I was just started watching film recently in the past week with Billy Salento on what I was doing and made a few minor adjustments, and I'm seeing the ball a lot better, and I feel back to my old self and starting to get my confidence back. So it feels really good.
I can't remember which double it was, but on one of those, were you thinking 3 and you had to put the brakes on?
I'd like to add a triple this year. We'll see what happens though. That was the goal on that one.
It's hard to get triples if you just hit the ball to left center.
Yeah, no, that is very true. I don't have too many in my career, but that's where I hit the ball best right now. So just gonna stay in that gap and take my doubles when I can get them.
The only way to hit for the cycle is to fit a triple in there somewhere.
That is true. I would like to do that one day. I'll see if I can get it one day.
Just from a team perspective, Michael, what's the last two, three games meant to you guys?
Oh, I think it means a ton. We knew coming into the year we were a really talented team, and we just had to put it together. And the pitching staff has been doing their part all season. And the hitters, we've been struggling a little bit, but I think the bats are starting to wake up a little bit, and we're a close knit team right now. And I think we had confidence that it would come out sooner or later, and we're starting to see the results of what happens when we can put it all together.
Did it get difficult at times to still have confidence in that, Michael?
Oh, totally. I can't speak for others, but I know for myself, when I started to really struggle, it was time that there was times that I really just didn't feel like myself and felt like I couldn't hit the ball. And I just had to really try to stay mentally strong and know that hopefully that I could break out sooner or later. And it's working right now.
Hey, Michael. Obviously, at the plate today, you had, big at bats, and then out on the field today, you made a couple diving catches. If you could just talk about, your mindset at the plate today, how you're feeling in the two plays in the outfield.
Yeah. So I would say my favorite part of being an outfielder is just when the ball goes up, you get to chase it. And it sounds simple, but it's a lot of fun actually. And I enjoy that. So in the outfield, I always, I try to get a good read on the ball, and I was able to just go and run down one of the balls and make a couple diving catches. And it always feels good to help out the pitchers when they've helped us plenty of times this season. And at the plate, I'm just trying to stay back, stay my back hip and not lunge forward, which is what me and Coach Billy Salento have been working on. And just seeing the ball deep and letting it travel and then hitting it hard. Nothing else really besides that. Not trying to do too much or anything, just trying to be myself.
And then for team chemistry, obviously you guys are going to play Louisville. To get a spark like this on the offense, how does this help you guys, when you're facing, ACC opponents?
Yeah, every week's tough in the ACC, especially with Louisville and Florida State and these teams that are really, really talented. But we think we're talented too, and we just have to be ourselves, and hopefully that can take care of it itself.
And then my last question for you, Michael, obviously I've covered you, since your high school days at Briarwoods. I've known you for a little while. From your previous coach, Coach Miller, what were some things that he taught you, at your days at Briarwoods that have helped you contribute at the college level, that's made it easier to help you to when you joined Wake Forest? Yeah, just something that I've been focusing on from high school, even into college. And it's something that all my coaches have showed, between like Coach Miller, Coach Germanowski, and my hitting coach in high school, Eddie Kim. And then the hitting coaches here with Billy Salento, Joey, and Coach Walt, is just staying in my back hip, letting the ball travel and not jumping out into it and lunging and getting in my front hip. When I'm jumping out in front, I can't use my hands. So right now I'm just trying to focus on using my hands to the ball and keeping my weight back.
Michael, we talked, Walt loves telling us about how leadoff at-bats in innings or to games kind of set the tone. Do you think it sets the tone when you make a diving catch for the first out of a game? I think it helps the pitcher know that the defense is back there, and if he makes a mistake, we're going to do our best to cover it up and make a play for him. Because there's certain times that we might make an error and he's going to pick us up. So I think as a team, it's good to know that we got each other's backs and just trust each other. So yeah.
Anything else, guys? Oh, good. Thanks, guys. Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you all. Have a good night.